What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Too Much to Watch. I am your host, Sean. Today, it's first day back in about a week. I haven't posted anything in about a week on the channel. But today I want to do a quick movie review about the movie on Netflix called The Devil All the Time. 2020 movie just came out about 2 weeks ago on Netflix, beginning of September, with a lot of buzz surrounding this movie. If you're aware of Netflix and the current state of their movies, they produce quite a lot of good shows, great shows, have for a while, a lot of great documentaries on Netflix. But the movies, to me at least, has been a little touch and go. Netflix has been pretty open about their focus on quantity versus quality. I wouldn't say necessarily they weren't producing or trying for quality. However, their strategy is to put out a lot of content for you to watch and sift through. More recently, some of their movies have started to become, to me at least, again, a little bit more focused and a little bit more focused on quality. I'll say focused on quality. And this is one I believe they kind of do hit that quality. This movie had a lot of buzz coming out for a while, pretty much just based on the cast alone. I mean, if you know anything about this movie at all or interested, you at least know about the cast going in. Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, Bill Skarsgård, just looking here, Sebastian Stan, Jason Clarke, Riley Keough, Haley Bennett. Pretty extensive cast for a Netflix movie, and a very let's just get into it. This movie is really dark. I'll go ahead and say I enjoyed this movie. Enjoy being somewhat subjective. This movie is incredibly dark, and at some points tough to watch. The story follows young Arvin, played by Tom Holland, but also goes into his backstory, his relationship with his father and his mother. His father being played by Bill Skarsgård, who is a war vet coming back from the war, trying to find his place and find love and start a family, which he does. But Arvin, at an early age, and again, I'll go ahead and say this real quick. I probably should have said it earlier. Spoiler alerts for this. I will spoil it. It's been out for a couple of weeks. If you're interested, I would probably suggest stop watching. Haven't spoiled anything up to this point right here, but the story focuses on Arvin and his struggles in life and the loss. This movie has a lot of loss, a lot of death, a lot of important people to Arvin, Tom Holland's character, do die. Sometimes a fairly gruesome, sometimes a very sad death. But this movie is really well done, very well acted. You can kind of see this movie was going for definitely the Oscar baity type of a movie, with the actors and with kind of the tone of it. And some of the acting is incredible. I really impressed with Tom Holland in this movie. He has been a good actor and has been well known to be a good actor, but sometimes when you hit that role of a superhero movie, obviously if you're living under a rock, you know Tom Holland is Spider-Man. But you can get typecast, and sometimes it is a little bit of a struggle for some of these actors to kind of break out and hit their own and show that they can have a little bit more range. Tom Holland does that here in spades. He is an incredibly gifted young actor. Very happy to see his trajectory being, I can do stuff after Spider-Man, and good for him. All around really good acting. I will say, as a big of a fan as I am of Robert Pattinson, if you go back and watch, I did a quick review or a quick a reaction review of the Batman trailer. Obviously, Robert Pattinson's going to be Batman coming up next year in a new Batman movie. He is an incredibly gifted actor. Here, he is really good at what he's doing. I would say a few times here, maybe a little bit overacting. I've even seen some stories and reports of him breaking out in laughter in some of his southern accent of a small town preacher. But overall, really, really good acting all around. This movie really hit some tones of religion, and really some tough tones of what, to me at least, what following certain people can do to you. It doesn't have a whole lot of good things to say about religion, really, and following said preachers and said people, and kind of the route you can go down if you listen or follow some of those people. It's not my view. You can believe what you need to believe, but this movie definitely hits on some religious themes and some of the dealings of certain people and certain levels of power there, and how they take advantage. If you watch this movie and watch what Robert Pattinson does to some, specifically the Tom Holland's Arven's stepsister, or kind of stepsister in this movie, you can see that the influence and the power that he has is not necessarily used for good. Again, this movie, like I said earlier, is incredibly tough to watch at times. There really isn't too many redeeming or lighthearted moments at all. This is a graphic movie. Some of the death and some of the themes really do hit hard, specifically with the stepsister, Lenora, played by Eliza Scanlen. This her path and how her story ends, with committing suicide, and the toll it takes on Arven, and how he goes about rectifying that, is tough to deal with. This movie has some Tarantino-esque moments of interweaving stories and showing old timelines. There is a storyline specifically with Riley Keough and Jason Clarke as traveling serial killers, and how they interweave with Arven's story, and how, early on in the movie, at least for me, I was trying to kind of pick the pieces together and see how they all were going to kind of interconnect with each other. And I think overall that it connects and does pretty well. This is a story that happens over a number of years, roughly around 10 years or so, maybe a little less, of Arven's life. So they show some of these characters, specifically the traveling murderers, or the traveling serial killers, and Sebastian Stan's deputy character, and how they're tied, and how that story kind of continues to go along. I do think the Sebastian Stan is another good to see him doing something. Obviously, we know him as Bucky Barnes and Winter Soldier in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He is another really, really good actor, and it's good to see there's a couple of superheroes in this movie. It's a couple of superheroes, and Bill Skarsgård, who we know as Pennywise. So, you got some actors who could clearly go a certain route and choose to pick projects like this that could really show some chops. So, this movie is directed by Antonio Campos. I don't know a lot of his previous work. This movie does intrigue me to go try to find some of that. But overall, I think this was a good movie. I don't think this would hit that Oscar movie mark that I think it's trying to shoot for. Again, good acting, good writing. At times, it can be a little over the top with it. So I don't think it necessarily it makes that mark. I could be wrong. I don't think it necessarily hits that mark of an Oscar-worthy movie. But it does at least show some good quality acting, writing, and directing of a movie, and I'm interested to see what he continues to go do in the future. So, I think I said all I could or want to say about this. I do recommend this. I do not recommend this for children whatsoever. This, again, is a very dark. The title pretty much would kind of turn you off to showing this to a kid, but I definitely would not do that. Especially with the actors in this. So you might want to say, hey, let's go watch the new, the young guy in Spider-Man. Let's go watch his movie. And I wouldn't do that. But I would say if you're into, you're wanting something a little more serious, a little dark, if you're into that, I definitely would recommend this movie. I don't think this is a watch multiple times movie. This is probably a one and done for me. But I am glad I sat down and watched it, and I do enjoy hopefully Netflix continues this trend of this type of a movie, or at least this quality of a movie, and what they're putting out, because I do think that this is a good sign. I'll say, at least I recently watched the Enola Holmes movie with Millie Bobby Brown, Henry Cavill, and obviously not a similar movie, but the idea of Netflix is putting out some quality movies. That is another fun, good movie that they're doing. So I believe Netflix could be on a good trend. I know they're still going to put out a lot of things, and some things might be better than others. But the idea of putting out good quality content on a streaming service that you can watch in your home is a pretty promising sign from them. So I thank you for stopping by today. I thank you for taking a few moments to talk with me about the devil all the time. If you would like to add your thoughts down in the comments, please do. I would appreciate it. Love to hear your thoughts on it and what you think of this review, the movie overall, what Netflix is doing, anything you want. I appreciate your time. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and have a great day. Peace.